Everybody ready? Come on, let's go.
The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go! The Rick Thorne Show! Let's go!
Yo, what up? This is Rick Thorne. Welcome to the X Games 2025. Actually, welcome to the Rick Thorne Show. Oh! How you doing? I hope you're doing good. I'm glad you're here. Thanks a lot. I got a very special guest, someone that I've known for a very long time, multi-talented businessman, pro BMXer. He's been in the industry for a long time, and I respect this guy. Give it up for Robert Castillo. Flatland extraordinaire.
Thanks for having me, man. This is awesome.
That was a good intro.
Yeah, it was.
Not your thing. The X Games part was pretty sick.
The X Games. It's on fire right now.
It is on fire.
It has been.
I'm glad it's still there, though.
ABC. All right.
Well, what do you think? Since we're talking about X Games, right? And it's kind of like what's going on right now, and there's kind of a rebirth for it. What was it like before X Games? Because just to let everybody know, Robert's an old school BMXer from the '80s. We'll talk about how you got sponsored and all that stuff. But like, what do you see the differences of it?
I mean, TV. I mean, back in the day when you would just get, hey man, you see that guy in the back over there by the fence? See that hand? That's me. You know, it was crazy back then to get a picture, black and white or anything.
In the magazines.
And then
yeah.
So you see X Games and you're like, you know, name calling or name dropping. You're like, I know that guy. I just hung out with him last week. That guy used to ride in shows. Like even when Dave Mirra was out there competing, I was like, I used to tour with this guy. So
yeah.
The level of that is just on another level. So when you see your best friends and your homies and your the guys you looked up to, and then you guys coming up in the sport, it's you can't compare it. You really can't.
But you guys were big back in the day. You guys were what, like, to be sponsored? Okay, what year did you get sponsored?
I got sponsored. I remember in '85, I got co-sponsored.
Okay,
by GT.
so '85, you guys were like what X Games guys are now, because being in the magazines was like you were viral if you went in the magazines.
Oh yeah, it was viral. Like, and I never knew what that word was outside of the word viral. But yeah, and like I said, it's hard to compare. But I mean, it's very surreal.
Yeah.
You know, every time I see it, still to this day, and the guys that do shows for us, it's still to me. I mean, TV, you just can't compare. But the one thing that I can say that those guys won't ever have is what we had.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's
uncomparable in that way. So they're both two.
The energy's different.
It's way different. I mean,
because there's money and there's media and there's exposure and there's this. It takes away from things. I think.
Yeah, we definitely didn't do it for the money. I mean, back then.
Dude, let me ask you something. Because every time you would see like an old school photo of someone, they're like rocking their leather pants and their jersey and shit. Did you practice like that?
I actually didn't. I didn't, but I would try them on, and I would do. I mean, I would
for photo shoots. They would say you got to wear this shit.
Yeah,
right?
you got it. But you know what's crazy is I did one thing, but I was so dialed with our runs, and back then there was a lot of hopping tricks. But I would always, for some reason, dude, I would put on sometimes new brake pads, new tires. And I just didn't get it in my head that, like, that's not good. And I thought it was good. It's just like when you get new shoes, you think you can run faster.
Yeah.
That's not the case. So that was bad on my part. But, yeah.
You see these old school photos. I just saw one of Wilkerson doing, like, a Miami hopper right by the beach. Fully geared up, mouth guard on, the horror.
Yeah.
Like, the dude's right. Because the reason I ask you is because I dressed up in my backyard once. And I'll send you a photo after this interview. And I wanted to be like you dudes in the magazine, so I dressed up and did like a photo shoot with all my like.
Dude, hey, and back then it was so awesome. And then I started seeing that trend change, and my brother was one of them that started to kind of move away. He wear the top part of the whole outfit, the jersey, untucked. But yeah,
that was with homeless bikes. Was that with that?
Well, no, he wore the Dino shirt with his pants.
Oh, I
and
see.
Then
you're saying during that time?
Yeah, during that time, and then the weird thing about the homeless thing is like, me and Ruben were just like on opposite ends of the spectrum in the world, and us as brothers, and he just did his own thing, and I went over here, and we were just not. The weird thing, we didn't really agree too much with what we were doing, just because we were bickering. You know, we were just kind of had our differences.
Brother stuff.
But that was just, exactly. And now we're just like as.
So you went more of a kind of a corporate role. He went more kind of like an underground role.
Oh yeah, he used to. He gave me such a hard time. I don't know the names, all this stuff he would give me a hard time about, but he just let me know, like, hey, I'm not about that, and that's cool, do your thing, but this is what I'm about, and I'm going to go do my thing. And he just went a different route, and I did too. And back then we didn't have text, cell phones, social media, so if you had called somebody, it was like $20 just get somebody on the phone.
You ever do a
few
collect
minutes.
call? You're like, collect call from, yo, meet us up at the parking lot at 10 o'clock.
I actually
And then
did.
you
My
wouldn't-
mom.
You wouldn't accept it?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Mijo, call mom because I'll take the collect call. I'm like, oh, I can't do that to you. But my brother.
No, but
would
you
call
wouldn't
me.
take the call. Like if I wanted to meet up with you and I didn't have any money, I would. There's like 35 cents or something. I'd say receive a collect. You would get a call and it would
Yeah.
say to receive a collect call from, yo, bro, meet us at the parking lot at 10 o'clock tonight. And then to accept call,
Yeah,
press 1, and you would
press-
say
you
no.
say
but
no.
You would know that.
You clap, yeah, you can hear him in the
so
background.
I'd save the
I forgot
35
about that.
cents. Yeah,
That's funny, man. That's so good. That's funny.
that's how we did it, bro.
Yeah, so like the old school, going back to that whole thing, just to nip it in the bud here, you can't compare the two, and I'm glad that I'm part of both, even though
Yeah.
I'm not in competition. But it is cool with what's going on with the new guys in new school, and yeah, we have a lot of our guys that do shows that are in there in the mix. So it's like for me still like pretty cool. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it's cool too because I'm glad that like ESPN or X Games, because they're two separate things now. Is like, I mean, meaning that like I don't think ESPN owns X Games. I think it got bought.
Right.
But I think it's good for bicycle perspective because I was just out yesterday riding through Hollywood and I saw a gang of dudes riding. You know what normally they would ride the big bikes.
Right.
You know what they're riding now?
No.
All electric bikes. I'll show you the video, dude. There wasn't one.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
There wasn't one, and dude, there was like 200 kids, and I was
That's
yelling at them
crazy.
like, "Get a bike!" like joking. I was like, and in my head, I'm thinking like, we compete with so much than when we grew up.
Oh yeah.
Scooters, mountain bikes, road bikes, bike life, now electric bikes.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's on TV a lot keeps it out because I feel like bike riding's gotten maybe less because of that.
Probably, because if it was me, obviously they're more expensive and they're different. If it was me, I'd be like, that's what I want.
An electric bike.
Yeah. I mean,
Kids nowadays want to just do wheelie. Everyone just wants to do wheelies.
So wasn't somebody at X Games riding, doing a wall ride on one of those bigger bikes? It looked like an electric bike. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Oh no, there's a whole scene where I think it's called City Bike Riders or something. I follow them on Instagram and they do tricks on those like city bikes you could rent, and like they're doing like flares and shit on those things.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Dude,
pretty crazy.
It's crazy too. I was just thinking about like electric bikes. Like, I got approached by somebody to start trying to push the whole thing of the safety part of it. Because look at these kids; they're going through grass, going right past you on curbs, just doing stuff, and they're not a motorized vehicle, which makes it like, okay, well, since it's not motorized, you don't have to ride it on the street. But dude, they ride it everywhere, and
They're gonna change that law though.
they have to. They have to. In
I
fact,
mean, if you can go 40, 50 miles an hour with no insurance and plow into something, like or get
I've
killed.
already seen it.
Yeah, and it's just
happening.
like they're gonna
guess
start
what?
registering those shits.
Schools are starting to. It went from like say no to drugs to hey the vaping to hey certain drugs, and then now it's like
Say no to
it's
electric
getting younger.
bikes?
Well, not saying no to electric bikes, but hey, can you tell these kids how to? I said I can't come out here and start laying the law, which there's no laws against certain things.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about your shows too, so
Yeah.
they have an understanding of what you're saying. But dude, we should start that. Say no to electric bikes.
That'd be funny.
Get a BMX, man. You can do more on it,
Yeah, way more.
and you stay in shape.
And keep your brakes on.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, I want to back up for a second though, and let's back up to like in the '80s when you started riding. And I want everyone out there to know you have a brother,
Yeah.
Ruben, our dog. Did you guys get sponsored at the same time? Because you're from Austin, Texas.
You know
right?
what? We didn't start at the same time. We're 2 years off. He was a breakdancing dude, and he's just like, man, BMX sucks. You ain't gonna go nowhere with that. This is where it's at. And he was all hip hop. And then he started catching up, started getting good. So we kind of got sponsored at the same time. But I was like really the first to get the factory sponsorship, and then he was right there because he was just tearing it up. So
Yeah, but I want people to understand that you were in Texas at the time, right?
Texas, yeah,
So to get sponsored outside of California
very different.
in the 80s,
Yeah.
when the only way you could be viral or be known was through magazines or contests,
we didn't have that.
that was difficult.
Real difficult.
It wasn't. It
you're
wasn't
from Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. I mean, Dennis was the first Dennis McCoy was
Right.
like the first paid sponsor, I think, outside of California.
Yeah,
but
it was difficult for sure.
it was way difficult.
I mean, the way the timing worked, and the guy that ran and helped Bob Morales do the AFA in Texas was a guy that had one of the top racers in the country for GT. Man, I'm forgetting his name, but anyways,
He helped run the contest for Bob.
He helped run the contest in Texas and ran them amazing. They actually used his quarter pipes, which were the best quarter
Oh, so
pipes
when
built.
AFA came through.
Yeah, and that was Scotty Patterson. So he started doing a couple little demos here and there, and he saw that me and Ruben were winning all the contests in Texas and doing good, and he just put us together. Jeff Latimer, which is another great rider, and then there was Ray Santillan, who beat like 72 riders at the Velodrome. Second
Wow.
contest out there. Anyways, so
they sponsored you guys as a group.
yeah, they sponsored us as a group, but the focus was on me, Ray, and Ruben. We're both all three of us from Del Rio, Texas, little border town. So that's how it started. Co-sponsorship in '85, and then in '86 is when we started going to the bigger contests. And once they saw us win, I think one of our biggest wins was in Florida. And we went there. We both won our classes, and then Magoo's calling and GT's calling, and next thing you know, we're being flown out everywhere, including our parents would go there and help run some of the stands for Bob Morales. So
That's us. What
Yeah.
city are you from again?
Del Rio, Texas.
Is that by Austin?
Why
Why did I think you're from Austin?
Because I lived there for a lot of years,
Oh.
and Ruben's from there, or Ruben lives there. But we were born Del Rio. So if you're looking at Texas, you go all the way west on the border, like where all the border crises were happening.
Oh, wow.
Right there, it's just a small town.
Even
so-
harder to make it to get sponsored from a small town in the mid 80s.
Yeah, we had to travel a long ways to go to contests to get any kind of exposure. It went from co-factory to factory, and then
And you guys started touring.
we started touring. I mean, we started touring with Josh White, Dino DeLuca, Jess Darenforth, Eddie Fiola, Martin Abrijo.
So these were people
Joe
you had already
Johnson.
looked at in the magazines.
I
and
was like, yeah.
wow, what a cool story. How old were you?
When I was in 10th grade, so I was probably 15, 16.
Did you finish high school or did you say
did.
no? Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Because some people, when they get sponsored early, they do.
I
outside
wanted to
of-
quit school so bad. I hated school, and I sucked at every class and didn't take books home. And my mom and dad see my report card, and it was just,
Yeah.
I forged everything I could.
Yeah.
Sorry, mom and dad. And
Exactly.
now I have to make up for it because in business, it's like you got to be on it with the numbers and on it with the being organized and stuff. So, anyways, but yeah, being like you said, super difficult time to try to get a sponsor and to have not one but two of us come out of Texas, and Ray Santillan, another legendary rider.
And you guys were mostly big at Flatland.
Mostly Flatland, but
Because
a lot of people.
it was hard to find ramps back then.
Well,
I tell people that.
we
Like
built ramps, Rick.
Yeah, you had to build
We
them.
built
you
them,
didn't have a skate
and they
park.
got torn down by guys who were jealous of us punks, and then even went to
The
San Marcos.
stoners.
Dude, yeah, major stoners.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about this? I'm going to say this real quick. When we went to school, okay, there were the stoners and the jocks, and they hated us BMXers and skaters. And it was funny as time has gone on, my sport has turned into stoners and jocks.
That's, dude,
And that's wild to me.
so
It's like you guys are
that's
fighting
crazy.
yourself. Like what?
Yeah, it's funny you were saying that because I started thinking like, how was it in my town? Well, it was kickers and cholos. The kickers were the white dudes, and they wore hats there a lot.
They're called
And the
kickers?
they call them kickers. Well, at least yeah,
Rednecks is what you
rednecks.
Yeah.
Well, we could say redneck back then in little towns.
Peckerwood. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that too. But it was kickers and cholos. The cholos were the
Cholos,
from
yeah.
the east, from the south side, which is San Felipe.
So they would mess with you.
I was. Hey, bro. I was in between, man.
The Cholos.
I played
The
football.
Cholos wouldn't mess with
and
you.
some of my cousins were the cholos.
They'd be like, "Dude, that cherry picker, man."
Yeah. You know what's crazy? We didn't really get popular there in Del Rio for doing that.
Oh, and just so you know, cherry picker's a bike trick, so relax.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherry picker's bike trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get popular or, BMX famous in Del Rio. It got when we went to Austin and San Antonio and then started touring. So, but the cool thing, real quick, because I want to touch on this, is me and Ruben, we've been invited to Del Rio many times to do a show, and we can never get there. They didn't have the money or the sponsors and the want to really do it the way we wanted to do it. And I said, hey, I'd love to come out here. And we did little flatland demos. Same mall where I saw Mike Buff, R.L. Osborne, and Pat Romano do
It's
a
still
show.
there, the mall.
It's still there.
Wow.
We did a show there indoors. It was just a little flatland demo, me and Ruben. And then we did another little show, and then we had this parade. And then recently they're like, hey, recently, all that happened years in the last 30, 40 years.
Okay.
All of it. But just last year in February, or this year, February, Del Rio, well, we worked on it for a while, but they said, hey, we want to bring you to Del Rio to do some school shows. We're like, okay, it's going to be expensive, man. These guys aren't cheap, and we don't use just whoever. We use some top guys. So my buddy Jay Carson, who's a really good freestyler, they're getting a pump track there. They have a new skate park. And they're like, hey, man, let's get you down here. And I said, get all the schools involved. And my sister's part of the school district. She's a teacher. We did 10 schools in 5 days.
Wow.
10 schools in 5 days.
Wait. So that's 2 a day.
Well, the first day, because it was a holiday, we did the church. We did a show at a church, which is where I got baptized. And so we did a show there, and then we did 9 shows in 4 days.
So then how'd you do that? You just set up, tear down, and go and do that?
Yep, set up, tear down. And it was me, Ruben, Jacob Thiem, who just won the Munich Mash took first place to the goal. And then Chandler Dunn, who's one of the guys that does all of our shows, and he's also one of the performers for Nitro Circus when they're in town. Anyway, so we did that show, and during the time they're like, hey, let's get a big show on the weekend. Let's bring the whole city instead of just the schools. Invite all the kids. So they blocked off all downtown. They got all these vendors.
You guys were like the Beatles, bro.
Dude, it was insane. So thousands and thousands of people. We brought them all out there. They promoted it for months. And
That's
then
sick.
we didn't know this, but the mayor came out, did an introduction to us, and gave me and Ruben the key to the city.
Wait, hold on. You got the key to the city?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
We
You
got
could like
2 keys.
That means you can unlock
one's
everything.
for the jail, and then we got.
What
the keys.
does that mean? That's
key-
awesome.
it's-
But I'm just
it's
curious.
they just honored us because.
What does it unlock? Anything?
No, man. This key it's old school. It looks like it's back from the 30s.
And you got it.
Me and Ruben both got an award. I sent you the picture, but it's an award.
Oh,
it shows the what they did was they just honored our
Keep talking. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Keep
induction
going.
into the Hall of Fame. And they wanted to do something special. And all the years of doing shows, we finally got to go to Del Rio and do a big show
Oh, I see it.
that featured,
Oh, that's some old school, like 1920s looking shit.
I said 30s.
Oh, did you say 30s?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Close
cool,
enough.
bro.
So, we got the key to the city, and it was just them honoring us.
You're going to find out what that unlocks. You're going to open it, and it'll be like,
Yeah.
it's going to say, the joke's on you, Jack.
Yeah. But, anyway, the mayor came out and his
I'm
wife.
joking.
That
I'm
was cool. No, I
joking.
know, I
Come
know.
on, you know me, bro. I'm just playing around. That's cool, bro. So how did that feel to come like back to your town?
I got teary, man. I was like, I didn't expect it. My family knew, or at least my wife and my sisters knew, because we had some friends that were putting it all together. And then the mayor came out like, wow, this is really cool. I've never met the mayor. And then I've never met any mayor there other than, I did it. Anyways, so he came out, did this whole introduction, brought out me and Ruben, and thousands of people watching, and they gave us the key to the city. 2 keys.
That's crazy, bro. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So that was.
So you still have your family lives there.
Yeah, my family, my mom, my dad, my sister who just retired from 39 years of teaching, Linda Corbell. What up?
What up? So you probably okay. So that was cool for you
Yeah,
guys.
very cool.
What a reward. I mean,
I would have never thought that something like that would happen. That was just, to me, as cool as, almost as cool as getting the Hall of Fame induction, Texas.
you got that too.
Yeah, that was the year before. So that was 2023, and then Ruben just got it last year in 2024.
So you got the Hall of Fame of Texas.
Yep.
And then you got the one in your city. What's it called again?
Del Rio.
Del Rio.
Yeah.
So were any of the kickers or cholos there to check out the show?
They're all there.
Like, I used to get that dude shit, Holmes.
What
and
up?
now they love you. Hey, can you sign this for my kid, man?
Yeah,
I was
they'll-
always a fan of yours.
Yeah.
You ever get that? They used to, the thing is when X Games got big back in the day, right?
Yeah.
The same people that hated us are now going, can you sign this for my grandson?
No,
And I was like, bro, you're shallow. Like, we're doing the same shit.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
That still happens. I mean, me and Volker.
But it was kind of weird, though, to me. Because I'm like, I'm the same dude.
Yeah,
Did
but
TV give it the
But you know how
approval?
it is when you get that package of whatever you ordered or from your sponsors. It's to them, it's the same thing.
I guess if they see it on TV, they say it's approved. It's stamped and approved. If it's on TV, then it's
Yeah.
okay.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Is that how you?
I guess
how you
that's
see it?
maybe how people see it because we were the same dudes.
Yeah, same dude.
That's how they were with tattooing.
Hey,
Same
man.
thing. Once you see it on TV, they're like, oh, tattooing's cool. Before that, you were like, whoa, stay away from this dude.
I mean, dude, just like with you, I saw you just come up and go up and go up, and I'm like, what? Rick Thorne's
And then you
living out
saw
here
me
in
go,
California?
boom, straight to the gutter.
Hey, man, you got to go up and down, up and down. That's the way this industry is, you know.
Married 3 times.
3.
Never doing that again. Unless
time was a
she's
charm.
rich.
If she's rich, then they're
Hey,
gonna
it's
be.
2025, bro.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
never know, man. Hey, man, you seem pretty happy on your own, so just
Yeah,
keep it
I am
going.
actually. I'm just. I talk a lot of trash, but dude, that is amazing. So let's back up a second. Or a few. So you get this award for the key to the city, which is rad. You never thought you would get that. Go back to like competing real quick into the 80s.
competing.
Like, what was your first? And so anyone out there, AFA used to be like the biggest like contest series. AFA was what like X Games is.
Exactly.
In
it
our
was
industry.
the only and the biggest.
The
I mean,
biggest. And
nationwide.
If you made it and if you placed in AFA, then people started to look at you
Yeah, it
as a
was pretty
sponsor.
cool.
So
I
what
just- yeah.
what was your first AFA?
My first AFA was in '85, and it was in somewhere in Austin, man. It was so long ago.
Yeah,
but
because they had a lot of contests in Austin.
yeah, a lot of contests. Scott Patterson, the guy that helped us get on GT.
Wait, Scott Patterson. That sounds familiar.
Scotty Patterson. He's the one that ran all the AFAs in Texas. He's
Did
the
he
one-
run American Freestyler magazine afterwards? Who was
No,
that?
no.
Well, that was a Patterson too. I forgot his name. I think.
Might have been the Racing Patterson guys, but yeah.
No, it wasn't them. Anyways, But yeah, so 85.
85 was pretty much our first real contest, and then from there it just went on. So we still did all the contests in Texas because they were so much fun. There was only so many contests, and then GT and Magoo and them guys just go to every contest you can. They would even fly my parents out.
Whoa.
No, I'm not kidding, dude. Well, we had to have a chaperone.
That's cool.
Just for Ruben.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, just for Ruben.
Yeah. Hey,
Ruben needed 2 chaperones.
And just so you know, Ruben is like another top rider that still kills it, still rides like crazy.
Yeah, he rides really good.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I mean, his consistency's different, but he's at a different level that even back in the day. He rides even better.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like wine.
Yeah, he's been killing it.
We used to be roommates. You know, we used to be roommates.
I know. You, Ruben, Goot, and Todd Lyons.
I got mad at him once, bro.
No way.
Yeah, because I had to go.
Can't see that.
Had to go have knee surgery, and I asked him if he can give me a ride. What was it? A ride back from it was some surgery. He's like, dude, I'm riding flatland. I can't do it. Here's my roommate. I got mad, bro. I'm having surgery. I just need you to pick me up. And
Did
he's
he have
like,
a car? He had his El Camino.
yeah, he had a car. He's like, sorry, I'm gonna go ride flatland at the beach.
That's dedication, bro.
Yeah, dedication.
Yeah,
it's this guy. I love him though.
I know.
He's funny. He
Well,
introduced me
was
to
different
Trader
back then.
Joe's, bro.
He's the same, but he's just
Everybody changes a little bit.
a little bit.
I mean,
He's still our dog.
How you feel like you changed a little bit?
Just my knees and my hips. I feel
Yeah.
like they're just gonna pop out anytime.
Yeah, I hear you, dude.
But like, I feel like they have the same energy. I'm on the go all the time, dude. I'm like this, like 24/7.
I hear you. Yeah, me too. Hey, so let me ask you something else real quick. So, did you compete local contests before the AFA, or did you just go AFA?
No. I did a lot of local contests.
And
Not
do
a
you-
lot, but
You did a lot.
a
So,
lot.
do you feel like did you ever reach a point where you're like, I'm not going to go anywhere here? Because
No.
I competed local contests and I was like, I want to be sponsored and shit. Like, I'm not going to get it here. I had to go to the bigger shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but like, I don't know, man. I came from a small town, so like, I was just happy to ride a bike and then
Yeah.
go to concerts, get exposure. I was the most nervous rider, even in shows still to this day. I mean, I'll go out and ride at a school show, and I don't do a whole lot. But the cool thing is, all my stuff is still new to them. But anyway, so I don't know, man. Like, it's just different. It's just
Yeah.
different. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to give kids kind of or anyone listening or even the old schoolers a flash from the past, like what it was like. It was just like a lot different than
I didn't know where it was going to go. If you
Yeah.
would have told me 40 years ago that this is where you're going to be at, you can do all that, I would have said, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, I'm hoping to just get past 30. No way.
Yeah.
And then when I got to 30, I was like, I got to stop riding. And that was just my mindset. But I'm like, why? Like, I had people like, dude, when are you going to like get a
grow
regular
up,
job?
man.
Like,
Grow up.
go regular job.
You're gonna be
don't even want a
boring
regular
like
job,
me.
dude. I had a
Ah.
regular job at GT for a lot of years, and then when me and Woody stepped away from that to run our own things, it was just like, we get to work from home. And that was the best.
Yeah, it is. So 85, you got sponsored. 88, if I remember correctly, that's when the sport kind of like quote unquote crashed.
88, 89, yeah.
And then it
did.
kinda went-
88 was a big year in BMX, and that's when it went, whoa.
Well, and bike sales went down.
Yeah, that's like
and
the
then
stock
everyone
market
went
or
kind
something just crashed.
and everybody went quiet. And then dudes like Hoffman, Molinterno, S&M that have been doing their thing, the homeless, the industry riders said, well, we want to start changing things. We don't want to show up wearing leathers in our jersey, and we want to change things and make and this is
Right.
what this is how my interpretation, because I got good. I was a top amateur in 88, and when the sport crashed, then it was just like I got good when there was no opportunity until X Games came around.
Yeah.
It wasn't until X Games came around in 95
Right.
that people really were like able to get more than a free pair of handlebars
Yeah.
as a sponsor.
Didn't it
or-
seem like decades between 85 and 95 that
it did. Nowadays, when you're older, you're like, damn, that was 15 years ago.
Right. Quick.
Yeah, it goes quick.
Yeah.
But my point is that where did you make that transition? Because what happened to you, like when you're riding this, you get sponsored, it sounds like for about 3 years, 4 years for the sport crashed.
Yep.
What happened to you in that? Because Flatland kind of went away at that time too.
Well-
not that it went away, but it lost, it didn't. No, actually, that wasn't the time. It wasn't until X Games came around.
Right.
Flatland was still really big. But what I'm asking you is that you were sponsored, you're riding, all this stuff touring and shit, and that went away. What did you do after that?
I mean, in a nutshell, again, sponsored, going great, flying here and there, money's coming in, we're doing shows. I got to live in Texas, and they fly me out, And then I started doing productions. I did stuff at SeaWorld. I did stuff at Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland, SeaWorld of Texas.
So you put on your own shows.
Well, these were production shows. I had nothing to do with it. And then I started
Production like what? Like Batman
well,
and
like
shit?
like the show. It's SeaWorld in San Diego. It's called City Streets, and it was just freestyle. All these people that come together in the city. It looked like a downtown somewhere.
Got it.
And they'd come together, and I had all these acts. And then we had the SeaWorld show in San Antonio, which I was like a gladiator. Like I wore this whole thing. I wrote.
Oh, so you were in it.
It was a production. And then Knott's Berry Farm, we did a show called Rollin', and they took that part of the production and went to Vegas. So I went to Vegas and had my own act on a stage show doing just Flatland. And then
You were doing just Flatland.
Just Flatland. Yeah, I was up on the marquee. They advertised it. It was crazy. And then I did the show at...
And that was after the sport kind of went boom.
Yeah, it started dying, and that was late 88, 89.
There you go.
So I started getting out of that, right? And going into the show business, and I'm like, I like this. Like, I can do it. I'm not as nervous. There's no money in contests, and I wanted to make a living riding my bike. So even Disneyland, we did a show there called Wizards of Rad.
Whoa.
Danny Hubbard was in it. There
I'm
was
steal
Jason
that shit.
Jeffries, Marnap Rijo,
Jason Jeffries.
Smart Brothers.
Wait, Jason Jeffries. Is that Easy Rock?
Yeah, Easy Rock.
Yeah, Easy Rock's my
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
Dude, he's rad. So we did this whole show there. So I got that fire. You know, I was like, that's what I want to do. And I saw these people producing cheesy shows. And I'm not saying I have the best show out there, and I don't really do
But everybody
production.
had shows though before that.
Everybody
like
did.
when the sport was real big, it's like everyone from Kuahara to Haro to GT to Dino.
Every pro rider was a show rider. And
show,
a
doing
competitor.
tours.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So we did that, and then the sport was doing a lot of different things. I started seeing guys like Chad DeGroot come up. I'm like, that's insane. Dylan Worsley, my brother still wanted to compete. Homeless was coming around. So it definitely took a different turn. So for me, I stayed in that show business end of it. So then I remember getting a call in 93 or 94 from Woody and GT. They're like, hey, no, it's 93, 92. They say, hey, you want to come and run the shows for GT? I'm like, no. Like, I'm touring. I'm doing my own stuff. Like, what kind of money? Like, it wasn't enough money for me to go there. So I turned that down, and then Woody came in, turned the whole program around. 2 years later, he's got Volker, he's got John Parker, Rob Nolly.
What year is that?
That's 95 when I got the call in 94 because we were doing a show at my own production. We were doing a show at the Wet n Wild Water Park in Las Vegas, and we had just got done.
So your shows sounded like they were more kind of like residency shows.
Well, those were.
Right? Instead of like day to day here.
Yeah,
there,
no, we
here,
didn't
there,
do a lot
there.
of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like a year or two at a time, 6 months or summer. And then we started the first production that I really started was a show I did in Florida, and it was a skate adagio and BMX. Me, Ruben, and Goot, and some skaters. And then we did the same show in the water parks in Texas, and I was Jeff Phillips right before he passed away.
Yeah.
Jeff Phillips was doing our show. Me, Ruben, the
Oh,
Goot.
Jeff Phillips did your show too?
He was in our show, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember Jeff. We used to see the Texas State Fair down there for like
Dude,
5
yeah.
years, right?
Oh, I went there and I saw you guys. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
one time
those-
with
those
you
are
and
the
Mira
good times.
And Miron. So we did that, and that's where I started doing production stuff. But production stuff just was, in my opinion, at the time was too much. They wanted to put us in outfits or costumes. The stuff was too choreographed. Some of these guys were like, no. So I just started doing freestyle. So when I started working for Woody, it was freestyle. Just really good shows with great riders. Probably the best show rider on the planet, Dave Volker. He's not up there, by the way. But yeah.
Oh no, Dave Volker's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He's like he has the flip fake. He's so consistent. That dude's dialed. His tricks
Yeah.
he does. You never rarely see that dude fall.
No.
I mean he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, just amazing. So when Woody put this whole team together, he asked me to come out and run their teams, and I helped him out. So we did that for a lot of years.
And just so you know, anyone listening, Woody Edson was another pro rider from the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Big factory rider, Hutch, etc.
Yeah.
GT. Well, he got on GT like after, didn't he?
Yeah, the Gold Trick Star.
Yeah, he had the gold. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mara brought that gold bike back.
I know. I saw
Yeah.
that. Isn't
Yeah.
it in the
It's probably in a museum
the
somewhere.
museum the
BMX
in Oklahoma?
Tulsa.
Yeah,
Is that what it
Tulsa,
is?
yeah.
I've never been there. You been there?
I have not, but I think I'm going this year.
Hey, what's up with them
Or
not
this next
asking me
year.
to put anything in their museum? What's up?
They need to put the Rick Thorne bike.
Actually, all my stuff's in the Valley Relics Museum.
I got one of your frames, by the way.
I know. Well, you bought it. And I felt weird but I needed it to buy groceries, bro.
That's okay.
That's where we're at.
I was glad to
That's
pay
where
for
we're
it.
at, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bike groceries. Oh, that's funny.
Hey, so you started doing your own show. What's the name of your shows? Anybody listening?
Our show, our team, it's just the company's called BMX Freestyle Team LLC. The name of the show is BMX Freestyle Team. It's real generic. I put my name on front of it, not to be egotistical, but I put it there because all
you
the
got
school
the key. You got the key to your
I got the
city,
key to the
bro.
city.
So what the
You're right.
fuck? You know
But
what
I
mean?
did that because the majority of our business, our bread and butter, is school shows, educational school shows.
Okay, got it. Your logo should be that key now. Put that shit up
key to
there.
the city.
Be like, who you fucking with? I got the key, bitch.
So the schools and districts and the PTA moms and stuff, they remember that name. Because even though I worked for Woody, hey, my name's Robert Castillo, blah, 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 and they would remember that. And so when I went on my own, I thought that was key to use that as leverage.
Of course. Yeah, you got
So-
it because you've earned it. You've
Yeah,
earned it though,
exactly.
too.
You know who helped me out with that was Kip Williamson. He's like, hey, dude, you got to put your
Always
name
say
on
your
it.
name. You wanna
Yeah.
be, yeah. Why not? I
So
mean,
that's a DBA that we use, but that's the it's just BMX Freestyle Team.
so you do like a lot of school shows. That's
we
your
do
main
probably
thing.
about 250 to 200 and something school assemblies a year. Yeah.
Really?
A
How
lot,
long are
yeah.
the assemblies? Half hour?
40 minutes roughly.
Kids get hyped, huh?
Oh, they're hyped, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you roll in, you set up, you do the show, you bounce out.
15, 20 minutes set up, go there, and we do sometimes 2 a day. 2 assemblies in the same school, sometimes depending on how many kids the school has.
Got it.
But yeah, we roll in. Everything's 100% self-contained. We have 3 units that are just nonstop going all year.
Wow.
And right now, we're at SeaWorld San Diego in the same place where I did that City Street show.
Were you dressed up?
36
Dressed
no,
up
no,
as
no.
like
No, this is the City Street show.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And 36 years ago, I was performing there with Primo and Diane and Dino DeLuca, Dave Nuri. Anyways, we have our show. It's called BMX Blast. It has a couple scooter pros and Jacob Thiem. We got Big Daddy there right now, which is really cool.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. He's a ripper.
And
yeah.
Chandler Dunn as well. And Bryce Trine will be there at the end of this next month.
So
we
a
have
lot of
guys.
so you get like a lot of top X Games, even Olympic guys doing your shows, right?
Yeah, we have quite a few. The lineup's
Because it's
crazy.
hard to make. I want people to understand this. It's not easy to make money as a BMXer.
No.
You have to have sponsors. You have to create your brand, your brand of who you are. You have to do shows. You have to tour. You have to do a lot of things besides just. People think that it's just like doing a tabletop at a skate park or something.
no.
It's like, bruh, like
No,
these
it's
dudes got to
serious.
grind because they're not making the money you think. And why I say that is because go back to earlier what I was saying. If we had more kids on BMX bikes, there would be salaries to pay these people.
Right.
Their bike sponsors probably don't even pay them anything.
No.
They
no.
probably don't because
Some
they're
of
not
that's-
selling bikes.
Some of that's starting to come back a little bit. Like Jacob Thiem's got a great sponsorship deal. I don't know the deal, but it's good.
With who?
Huffy.
Yeah, well, that's a different company
Yeah.
because Huffy's like a mainstream. They probably make more money off of like fitness
Well,
equipment.
they sell it.
You know what I
by
mean?
Walmarts
And that's
stuff,
like
yeah.
a side thing.
True that.
See, when I rode for Free Agent, they made more money off of fitness equipment than they did free agent bikes.
Yeah. I wonder if Shimano makes more off of fishing equipment than
They probably
else.
do.
Probably.
And so then it's like, yeah, it makes them a little
Dave
bit of
Volker
profit.
would know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it'll make them a little bit of profit enough to where like don't get rid of it, but that's not their bread and butter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
No,
why they keep
exactly.
coming in and out so
Yep.
much.
Yeah.
They're like
So
companies
yeah,
like that do, like
and-
Huffy and Redline and Free Agent. They kind of come in and out because it's like extra cat. It's like a side hustle to their real main
I
hustle.
mean, look at free agent. They just dropped pretty much their whole team.
They did that before, and then
Yeah.
they'll come back. They dropped me for absolutely no reason at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rode for them back in like I don't know if you know that or not, but I rode for them, and after I left Hoffman, I rode for Free Agent for about 4 or 5 years. I had a whole signature line of bikes, and my bikes were killing it. I had the Imperial, the Crown Imperial, and the little homie 16-inch bike, and just out of nowhere, by Rick, and I'm
That's
just like,
crazy.
and that's what's weird about this industry. People don't understand. You could be killing it. I don't know. Maybe there's other jobs like that where you're killing it and you just go to work one
No,
day and they go
this-
pack your desk. You're like, huh?
This is a
I
different.
thought I was killing it. I don't understand.
No, this is
you know?
BMX is so finicky and different, man. And like when people go, "Oh, that's
It's
cool,
weird.
you're BMX," I'm like, "No, I'm actually in the entertainment industry."
Yeah.
Sounds weird sometimes when you say it like that. But by the way,
wait,
so, let me
you're,
ask you
you're
this.
a stripper. You're a stripper. That's you.
Hey, so let me.
I'm in the entertainment
Hey,
industry. I go by Rob
Rob.
Castillo.
Hey, so I was gonna ask you. So when you got not dropped when you left free agent.
No, I didn't left. They dropped me.
You? Okay,
yeah,
so
I was
when
like,
they
and I was
drop you,
pissed off. I was like,
When
what's
you,
going on?
When you go around, do you tell people you're a free agent?
Ah. No, not anymore. I probably should. No, I'm not. I don't want to sound pessimistic or negative. I got to be real though.
No, I know.
What I'm trying to do with this episode is just to tell people, like, even when you came up in the '80s and how BMX was just such this big thing to society, it was like breakdancing. You said your brother breakdanced.
Yeah.
That was popular before BMX.
Right.
Okay, because breaking was all over TV, Beat Street. That was the thing to do. Everyone was breakdancing, and that only lasted 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is just trying to figure out ways, in my mind and probably yours, to keep BMX alive. You're doing it through shows. You're doing it with getting kids involved daily. I'm doing it with my Instagram and who I am as a person and my reputation. I love BMX. I want people to be more involved. So I'm always trying to rack my brain of, like, it's not just about the money thing. It's just about, we know what BMX can do for you.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so freaking good. Just to
I
be
mean,
right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
no,
this accomplishment
it's
thing.
when you learn a trick and you're just the high you get from that. But I think part of it is, especially with flatland, is, and not that any other sport's not hard, but like hitting a baseball, they say it's one of the hardest things to do. One of the most dangerous sports is boxing and bull riding, but BMX is like, you see these guys doing all these tricks, make it look easy, and then you go out there and you're like, I'm over it.
I'm good. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do it. So it's so hard. But
Well-
anybody can hit a baseball. Anybody can throw a 3-pointer.
Well, you get a baseball is easy. You get it on a tee.
I mean,
you
okay,
can do a T-ball.
But
Still
yeah,
hit that
exactly. But look, if you see Michael Jordan shooting a 3 on the buzzer, he's like king, goat. You can go out there on the court and shoot a 3-pointer. You can be anybody and shoot a 3-pointer and make it, and it's not a big deal. But in BMX, you just can't go out there and, oh man, I pulled the 360 whip. You can't. You know what I mean? It's
No.
so hard to do that. I think in a weird way,
It's got less people involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Flatland. I knew you were going to go there. Flatland was that way. Okay, first off, I want to say freestyle Flatland, anybody listening that doesn't know, those are the tricks on the ground with no ramp. It's just you on the ground. You're doing all the stuff, the spins, the decades, everything you're doing.
Hardest discipline in BMX.
But it's also the most, your body has to be the strongest.
Right.
Because you have
Core.
to support your weight differently. Like when I hit a ramp, the ramp kind of like does the air for me.
Right.
I'm just going to be real with you. If you hit it with enough speed, you pump up it, it's kind of an effortless feeling. It's a fear thing, but doing like a triple decade on Flatland is like a strength like thing. It's different. It's a
Yeah.
different kind of strength.
You just can't by luck pull something like that off. Like
No.
Not saying
you got to be in a
ramp
parking
riding,
lot for 10 hours by yourself.
Right.
No one wants to do that shit.
months.
Like
Yeah.
Like you got to be a certain kind of person for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
But ramp riding is just, it's like when I go in shows, like I tell kids, like just I was with Jacob Thiem right before he went to Germany, and I'm like, hey, this guy does all the cool, fun, exciting, and dangerous tricks. Who wants to see that? They get all crazy. Now what I do, Jacob's going to tell you, is the hardest, most technical aspect of BMX. It's doing the tricks on the ground. Now, it's not as impressive of what he's doing, but watch what I do. I'll ride the bike sideways, backwards, vertical, upside down.
definitely different.
And they get it. But the cool thing is for me, because a lot of people are like, you're still doing tricks like that? And I'm like, all these kids, all of the tricks I'm doing are new to them. I mean, you see Matthias and all these other guys, Terry Adams and Pete Brandt, and those guys, you're going to see those guys doing
Dang, they're
unreal
beasts.
stuff.
Yeah, they're
It's-
beasts. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
But you're still out there doing your thing, which is cool. You know what I mean?
I just ride a little bit, go out there. My main job is to go out there and educate the kids about some cool and important things, and that's usually now when it's all hands on deck, and we need more riders, more guys to take. Because when I send out guys, each team has to have, and school's just 2 guys. One guy, they both ride, but one guy is the driver, pick up the trailer, truck, announcing, gets the check, make sure everything's going perfect, but they have to.
So
rock it
only
on the
2
mic.
guys go out.
Yeah, it's 2 guys.
So who's the announcer?
They both announce.
So so he rides by
There's
himself.
one guy that spends the majority of the time on the mic. Like when me and Jacob do the show,
So wait, there's only 2 guys there
2 guys total.
for riding, announcing, setup, everything.
Everything.
Wow.
All of our setups are 15, 20 minutes, real easy. Everything's on wheels or electric jacks, and we get there.
That's not the
and-
hard part. The hard part's
No.
like the announcing and then the riding back
So
and forth.
I got, we have a few guys that do it. In fact, Ben Wallace, amazing, great on the mic, and he just say, hey, I'm not doing contests that much. If you want me to book me for shows, let's work on the show formats and do it. And we get a lot of people a lot of great feedback on him. Then Chandler does the announcing. So he drives, he gets the stuff set up, he manages the riders, gets them from point A to point B, collects the check.
So what if one dude gets hurt though? Then it's a one-man show.
Then it's a one-man show, and then the other guy will get on the mic. But when I say the other guy gets on the mic, it's usually just like, hey, you guys want to hear from Jacob Thiem? Ask him a couple questions. So we'll do a Q&A or just ask him questions.
Well, it's easy on the mic. All you gotta do is say, "Make some noise," and they go,
Well,
make some
yeah.
more noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do that, but the school shows they're a little pickier. About
I
the
know,
stuff
I
they
know.
say,
I'm
but
kidding. They got the Just Say No to Drugs and all
yeah.
that stuff.
And by the
too.
way, I hate that. Makes them like when you got guys that announce shows like, oh, dude, I had the crowd hyped. All you said was make some noise, make some noise, make some
Or
noise.
check it out. Check it out.
Yeah,
Check
Brenny
it out.
gives me a hard time. Check this out.
Or you could be like me on the count of 3, say booyah. 1, 2, 3, booyah. That was my easy.
cool.
That was my Tony Hawk.
See,
Hawk Champ thing.
you could go to a school show and do it and learn a couple things of what the school's paying you to be there for, or to talk about whether it's say no to drugs, stay in school, the helmet law, whatever. you would knock it out of the park. Obviously, you've announced, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah.
You just have to have a personality.
Well, I started hosting back in the day. It's funny you say this because back in the day when we did shows it was me, Hoffman, Dennis, Swope. I announced, and so when I did shows for Dennis, because Dennis's
you
wife
mentioned that.
Dennis's wife had a company called Parody Productions, and we did shows like car shows and shit. But even before that, I did shows that I didn't announce though. It wasn't until I started doing shows for Dennis's wife,
Right.
Parody, and then I just got a knack for it, and I was like, this is not hard. It felt really easy to me, and then that became like when we did Sprocket Jackets. It was the same thing. One day you'd ride, the next day you'd host, or you'd ride 2 days, host one day, and all of us would switch. I got videos of Mara hosting.
I think it's good when the
crazy.
writers come out because they're usually just quiet. They don't say much, but then when the kids see and feel and hear their personality, they get jazzed, man.
Yeah.
They're all stoked.
You know what freestyle flatland is like? It's like breakdancing.
Yeah.
It really is because it's like cool to watch, but no one wants to be spinning on their head.
That's why Ruben was really good at it. He just got creative.
Yeah.
With B-boy style. You got to come out to a show. You'll be pretty stoked on how
I just did though. I saw you guys kind of do the little demo. It wasn't really a show
just
though.
a school show though.
Got it.
That's a big demo.
So show, you're saying like elementary, middle school, high school?
Yeah,
or-
most of our school shows are elementary. So we do some middle schools, but
What about high school? Are they over it?
yeah, no, we do high schools, and when we do high schools, I charge more and I bring out more riders because the high school they're just like they're gonna sit there and like get on their phone and like but we hype them up, we get them involved. It's middle schools and high schools, we get them more involved in the show. Like
Got it.
You're gonna come out here, you're gonna lay down, and we're gonna go up here.
That's
and jump
cool,
over you.
dude. This is cool that you've been able to like go from because I know other riders have done this too. Like when I think of like Rob Nolly, Bill Nitschke, John Parker, there's the dudes that have their own shows as well.
Yep.
And it seems like a lot of dudes that got like not out of riding, but like saw a transition or maybe didn't want to compete anymore or ran its course or whatever. They took it and they got their own business from it. I think it's pretty cool.
All those riders do well.
Yeah.
They do pretty good.
Yeah. I think it's great that you've been able to like still do what you would be involved with.
Yeah.
And not have to feel like you had to be like that dude in the parking lot for 8 hours.
Yeah. It's fun to go out there. Well, it's even more fun now because you don't have to.
Yeah.
Just go out there and have fun, Like Ruben, he rides every day. In between lunch, he just goes, I just go out there for half an hour, 5 days a week, and I just ride.
See, that's like me. I ride every day.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I don't think I'll ever stop riding. Yeah. Hey, you said you brought some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you bring?
I did.
What'd you bring?
All right, Rick. Thorne. Let me see what I brought. All right, so,
I remember
was trying
seeing
to
you.
getting you all black stuff, so I did.
Oh, you got me some stuff.
I got you.
I love this podcast. People always bring me gifts, dude.
It's an embroidered, full
Like
embroidered
that one.
hat.
Show it in that one. Show it in that one.
yeah.
No, this one. This one.
Oh.
That's you.
Right there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right there. I got this for Rick. We made these just for the riders. This is a little gift, and then it took off.
I'm gonna write Stay Rad right there.
Does its own business, dude.
I'm gonna write Stay Rad on this shit.
Now, all my shirts. I gotta do this here, Rick, because
signing
if
it.
I don't, no, I'm not gonna.
You got the
sign it.
key. You got the
I'm
key,
not
bro.
gonna sign it. Oh, I do gotta wear this. I knew I brought it. That's why I wore that stupid beanie. Sorry.
I just wondered what that. I'm still listen.
By the way,
I love this podcast. I just want to know what
tacos
the
and
fuck that
tires.
key opens
No,
up.
it's not a stupid beanie. It's just that I don't like beanies that much.
Wait, what is that company? Tacos and what?
Tires. They're actually a company out in Texas. They actually sponsor Ruben's Taco Jam.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. No, I'm not saying bad about them. Just I don't wear beanies that much. All right, so
Yeah,
what
you
I
look
brought
kind of
you-
look kind of weird in the beanie, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say.
All right, so I brought you black grips.
I got grips too.
You got grips.
Whoa.
ODIs, bro. ODIs. All right, so I'm gonna give. Here, don't look, Rick.
Is this a sponsor of you?
That is, one of our.
Wait, is this an old school award? Please let this be an award for you.
It is.
It is. Oh, these are cool, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. ODIs and shit.
And so James McGraw started the AFA back, but AFA was American Freestyle Association. He started the American Flatland Association. So at 50, I won in Huntington Beach.
What? Wait, what year was that?
That was in 2017. I was 50. Damn, that's a long time ago.
How old are you now?
57.
Old ass. Look at that shit.
Dude.
Olds. They spelled school wrong.
2018, something like that.
Dude, you could tell when.
No, it's Olds cool.
No, dude, you could tell when people get old, they forget to fucking learn how to spell.
Olds is cool, bro. So that was actually just huge
Old
for me
school.
because I was like, there's no way I could win at a contest. And there was, I think, 16 or 17 riders.
That's
And it was
badass,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, I was stoked on that.
Did it have been awesome? Did you wear the leathers and the jersey and shit?
Dude, I don't fit in that stuff.
Hey, I saved my first leathers and jerseys actually.
Dude,
Yeah, very first ones.
Yeah, I can't fit.
No, they're in the
I had
museum.
like a 27-inch waist.
Yeah.
And then this was definitely a huge highlight in my career for sure, and really something really cool. And they only started this a few years ago, which, by the way, Joel Alamo, rest in peace.
Yeah, just recently
he
passed away. Yeah.
He made it in there as well into the Hall of Fame for Texas. But
2023. Look at that.
yeah, that was cool. Here,
That's
you can
sick.
touch it if you want.
Got the power of Texas right here, bro.
I know, right?
Yo, this is cool, bro.
I know.
Congratulations.
You asked me last night, like, hey, you can bring some stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, I forgot. I
It's a
gotta
huge
get some stuff
accomplishment.
together.
Look, these are cool and all, but where the fuck is that key?
Hey, I didn't bring the key.
Oh,
No,
fucking
here's
shit.
why- here's
Take
why-
this shit back.
Here's
I'm
why
over
I
it.
didn't bring the key. Because traveling back from Texas with it, I must have done something to it, and the key fell off where it's at. So I've got it kind of taken
The
apart.
key's on the loose?
It's on the loose, bro.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to bring it because I need.
It's got to unlock
mess up.
something.
All right,
Don't
so-
you rack your brain at night? You wake up, go, what's this key
So
for?
that shirt that I gave you. Oh, okay. So this is what our shirts. Look
More
like.
stuff?
Look, PR.
Yes.
Look, I'm telling you, PR. By the way, that's Jacob Theme on the back.
Yo, by the way, if you need a school show, hire fucking Robert.
Jacob Theme on the back. You got the best photo. I'm gonna give you that one, but that's not all
Wait,
black.
whoa,
But
whoa,
what
whoa,
I
whoa,
did
whoa, you don't have to-
find.
you could sell this
No,
one.
no. What I did find was this for you.
Oh, I like that one better.
Well, you're gonna have both of them.
Oh, really?
They're both larges.
Thanks, dude.
All right, and oh yeah. So, hey,
This is it? Nothing else?
No. I got
Fucking
more. I got more.
Wait, what is
So-
that? What is that tube on the ground? What is that?
Oh, I'll show you to you.
Oh,
in a
that's
minute.
yours? Okay.
Yeah, I'll show it to you in a minute. So, this is kind of the something that was really cool that
I'm
GT did.
like, this is
they
it?
did a Letterman
Nothing else?
jacket.
Jeez, Dad.
Look, GT Bicycles Air Show that was run by me and Woody, Dave Volker, Parker, Nolly. We all got one. It has our name right on there. And look at this, dude. Huge embroidered GT Bicycles Air Show.
Whoa, that's like
This thing's like 10 pounds, dude.
wow.
It's heavy.
Collectors.
I know you like leather.
I do.
Okay.
I love leather.
So I'm not done. The holy
got-
grail of
You got
trophies.
you got more trophies.
Well, no, I so
You've already dropped a couple
here-
good trophies here.
Here's the thing. Now, all the trophies that we had, most of them are pretty much gone because my mom donated these trophies to these kids that played soccer, really underprivileged kids who played soccer in my hometown, Del Rio, and they didn't have money for trophies, so my mom gave up our trophies to give those kids trophies. Now, they switched, obviously, the top part of it, which had a biker on it, a racer. And we were back then, I wish I would have kept some of them, but
Yeah.
there's only like one or two that I've kept, and they're probably in pieces, but I kept this one. It's from
What do you got?
1987
What do you got?
Converse Pro.
Whoa.
Second place.
That's 87?
87.
They had cool
Converse
shit back
Pro
then.
in Carson, California. And this is the Chuck shoe, man.
Bullshit. Did they They must have sponsored it, obviously.
It was Converse Pro. I think it was sanctioned by AFA at the time.
Man, let me see that.
But
dude.
so me and Ruben both got one. Ruben got it first, and I'm proud to say I got second behind Kevin Jones because, yeah.
Kevin Jones.
Yeah,
wow.
Kevin Jones.
Whoa, this has got some weight to it. I've never seen anything like this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at
Original
that. Look
Chucks.
at that. Look at that.
It had a
Look at
little plate on there. I don't know what I did with it,
So
but
like astronaut looking shit.
it is, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, NASA. They need to
Yeah.
get sponsored.
All right.
Whoa,
yeah,
this
that's
is
what I
this
brought.
is amazing,
That's what I
dude.
brought for you.
Is it an actual shoe? You think it is?
Yeah, it's an actual shoe.
How do you do this shit? What are they
All right,
dip it in some
you want to know what's in there?
dip it in some metal? Here you go.
All right, like that. All right, that was
Sick.
cool. All right, so I got more stuff here for you, Rick.
All right.
I come here.
Jeff, how are we on time?
We are at 48 minutes.
We're good.
Whoa. All right, everybody likes stickers, and I made a few there. Those are for you. Just don't put them on the walls.
No, I'll put them on my bike. Sick.
And then
dude.
I brought you two that I'm going to sign here for you. The official BMX Freestyle Team
What?
poster.
Let's go, dude.
It's got some old photos in there. In fact, Dave Volker's still on there.
Let me see. Where's Volker?
He's down here doing the double flip there with Alex Senderos. Not a double flip, but flip. Then we have Bryce Tryon, Ben Wallace, Jacob Thiem.
Those are all Olympic athletes, though,
Yeah.
aren't they? The last two you said.
Yeah.
Not it's Jacob's not. Is
Jacob Thiem was he was an alternate for the 2024 Olympics.
But Bryce and
Bryce is
and
also
Ben.
Team USA. Ben's no longer.
No, oh no, he's not.
Yeah,
No.
but Ben's like the Jamie Besserick of he's from
Which
UK.
was another. There's just another weird
Such a
thing
good
because
rider.
didn't he have he didn't have a bike sponsor for a second.
He
and then
did
now
it.
he's on Huffy, right?
he
on
Ben,
Huffy?
I think, rode for Mongoose.
That's it, because
yeah.
Mongoose let go
and
of a
then
lot of people.
Mongoose just changed directions, and Ben was like, "Hey, I'm getting rid of doing contests." And that's when he hit me up. He's like, "Because I always try to hire Ben, because him and Jared Eberwine were good friends, and Jared does a lot of our shows." And he's like, call Ben. I'll sign those, but
Yeah.
And I wanted to call Ben a lot more than I was able to, but Ben was always busy.
Yeah, I got it.
So I stopped calling, and then just last year, Ben's like, "Hey, I'm not really doing contests anymore. If you guys want to hire me for some shows," and so we did.
Yeah, that's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Anyone out there, if you're looking for school shows or shows for like anniversaries, weddings,
Weddings will do it.
yeah, bar mitzvahs, whatever you need, this guy right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Call me.
Yeah.
Can
Do
we
you,
pop-
do you
pop the
guys
phone number
do you
in?
guys
I'm
ever
just kidding.
incorporate any other sports or just BMX?
Scooter pros, skateboarding we've had before, but it's hard to find that right skater, and there's a lot of great skaters, but
Well, the terrain's
sometimes
different too, right?
It's just
A box jump's weird for a
it's
skater.
tough. Look, if you ain't got the right terrain, the right ramp, it can be a huck fest, and it's tough, man. Because what those skaters do is on another level.
Yeah.
And so you have to have the right
I
equipment.
mean, if you had a mini ramp, I could see it because then you wouldn't actually be going on the asphalt.
a consistent
and
ramp instead
yeah.
of like a ramp where you fold down the bottom and it's.
And then it's just got a piece of
Yeah,
metal that
right.
connects or hits
yeah.
the.
I mean, we've
concrete.
worked with Chris Gentry, Phil Hajal, and those guys killed it. We even did a demo with, Bob Burnquist and Tony Hawk at one point.
Oh, sick!
And we worked with those guys a little bit, but not me directly, but just the GT and stuff. So,
That's cool.
but yeah,
Awesome, dude. This is amazing. So what's coming? What's next besides the shows? You gonna keep doing these shows? Is this your thing?
this is my thing. I'm gonna retire from this. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to still. So we're actually moving the company because of just different reasons. There's only so much I can do, and my thing is I want to spend time in the office and time in there working to get better deals for riders, for shows, production. So I'm working with John Pova to build a whole nother set that can go through elevator doors
Oh,
for
sick.
corporate events or to do big events for whether it's Monster.
And that's where you have
or who-
experience with that, in your past. You're
Yeah.
not just doing the school
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah. It's from everything we've done. Like I work with Danny, so me and Danny have done a lot of shows together, and I've known him forever. But Danny is the man when it comes to Monster and shows. So if
Dan
he's-
Hubbard.
and he's got his setups everywhere. So if I have a setup that he can use and bring it out there, then we'll do it. But these ramps that I'm building with John Pova are just stuff that you can take for the most part, like corporate events, bigger shows, and we're gonna try to get this all on film and sell it because no one, I don't think, has really sold the BMX show the way it's going to be done here. We're going to film with all the guys, get drones and get it into a warehouse, get the riders, have different setups so that people can see what we're going to sell.
Yeah.
So working on that, and then all the other shows that we're doing now, me and my wife are going to just be like a booking agency. So we're kind of ridden of the ramps, the trucks, the trailers, the liability, and just moving that out to
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you something because I just thought of this. Is it competitive with you guys, with the different people? Like Danny Hubbard has his shows. You have yours. I mean, like Bar Spinner did his shows. A bunch, like I said, Parker.
It is.
Because there's only so many school shows. Are you guys just
I
regional?
mean, there's
Are you
tens of thousands of schools, and every team, I think, stays pretty busy.
Do they stay kind of just in their area?
They I stay in the Inland Empire, but I go to San Diego, L.A., and Huntington Beach, and everywhere. Lancaster. I mean, we're right in
So
that hub.
they win school shows every year, though. It's not like they
every
do.
year. I mean,
Oh, so that makes sense. Then they do. You got your regular clients.
Yeah.
Then. Like, oh, you just got
I'm
it.
not kidding. 250 to 300 separate schools that we do. And we do 90 days at SeaWorld, and then we have another 70, 80 dates that we do with teams out of state, whether it's Bill Nitschke, Rob Nolly, Brian Cunningham, or John Shaw in Texas.
Oh yeah,
And
John
then
Shaw's got
John
Lone
Shaw's-
Star. He's
oh,
got
yeah.
his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we work with them. Instead of flying all of our stuff out or driving out there, we work with them. They do the show. We get kickback on that. So, I mean, you're talking 400 plus shows and stops a year.
So you better have a house in the hills.
I like my house. It's a nice house, but yeah, not in the hills. It's kind of in the hills. It's the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. Well, you can at least look up at it. At the hill.
Right.
Hey, so I want you to, but before you leave, sign these. This is amazing. This is cool, bro. I'm really happy for you.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I remember the days. I remember I met you. I think it was Wayne, New Jersey. Maybe I knew who you were though, because I was like just trying to come up. You know what I mean? And when my best friend was Dennis getting sponsored, you glued to those magazines and shit.
Well, I knew who you, Belcher, and McCoy were obviously.
Because we were troublemakers.
But you know one thing that really made me like, just gravitate to you more. Well, not just your riding. You were great. You rode everything, but. I remember learning this trick. I called it the waltz or whatever. And it was just a vertical rolling, like a rope-a-roni, but with a handlebar. And then all of a sudden, I don't even remember what contest was, and I just see you going like this. You had the handlebars backwards, and you just go, whoa, and you rolled into it. And I'm like, motherfucker, I can't believe you roll into that. Shit.
Dude, that one took me forever to learn.
I tried to learn
that shit.
I tried to learn it, dude. I couldn't learn it.
So dude, check it out. So I know what it is. Your bars
you had your
up,
left.
You're on this side. You come up, and then you switch the hands to this, and you're going in an inward circle.
Yeah, so you went into it handlebars backwards, left foot, right peg, and you just went, just like McCoy would roll all his tricks, you just went, whoa, and you just were like, and I don't know how you rolled it or balanced it, but
it worked.
Dude, I couldn't believe it.
I used to butt heads with Dennis so much, though.
On the tricks?
Well, just because, like, when I learned the funky chicken, I would say, I'm going to scuff with this foot. My right foot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, no. This foot.
Yeah.
This foot, right? He goes, no, you got to use this foot. And I'm like, no, I wanted to use this foot, though. Wait, is that how it would be? Wait, hold on. Boom, boom, boom. No, I scuffed with, sorry, let me just say it again. I scuffed with my right.
Right. I was going to say left. Really?
No, I scuffed with my right, and that wasn't the right way to do it. He's like, you got to do it with your left. And I was like, yeah, but I feel like with my right, because then I learned how to do 1, 2, whiplash. And when I'd step, oh, no, I'm all over the place. Dude, erase all that. I would scuff with my left.
Yeah.
On a funky chicken when he was doing right.
Yeah.
He's like, no, dude, you did. I said, no, dude, I feel more comfortable this way.
He really pushed you on that?
And then
for somebody that's so different.
And then I would be like, boom, boom. And I was able to do 2 whiplashes into a hyperspastic front yard spinning the opposite way.
Right.
So I created something by saying, and so I love Dennis, but me and him were so much alike that we were like stubborn.
Right.
I'm like, no, I'm doing this. So that trick, the rope-a-roni you're talking about, that one, that was another one where I was like, it just felt more comfortable starting that way. I just went with whatever felt comfortable, not with what I thought was right.
No, I don't think anybody's ever done it like that. I've never seen anybody do that.
They probably can today, though.
I'm not saying they probably can't, but dude, that's a hard trick to learn because I couldn't learn it.
Man,
I remember trying it for weeks. I'm like,
I'm gonna find a video and post this shit.
Dude, post it. It's rad.
So when you hit it, it was
and by
good.
the way, you know when he's telling you to scuff this way with the funky chicken, then he's out there learning whiplash or double whiplash to funky chicken. Reverse.
I know.
Going backwards.
I know. I was there.
Ruben just learned that. Well, not just, but yeah.
Dude, we would practice fucking 8 hours a night in the underground parking lot.
Yeah.
While it's snowing. Like, that was our life.
People trip out like, you can't ride for 8 hours. You don't ride for 8 hours. You're out there for 8 hours. And you're riding as much as you can between.
Hey, before we get out of here, I'm going to tell you this is what we used to do for consistency. Because anyone listening, being consistent is, yes. What is that?
Oh, this is Chris Young. He's doing the Flatland Assassins
Oh, yeah,
contest.
I love Chris Young.
Chris Young. I brought the hat. I didn't know where it was at, but Chris Young.
Shout out to Chris Young.
Chris Young out doing Flatland Assassins 3rd annual. He invited me to come out and announce that. And I've never announced contests or judged. I'll never judge, but I'll announce. So, thank you.
That's sick. Hey, well, listen, we're going to get out of here, but listen, what we used to do for Flatland, we would make a note to be consistency, and we would get a trick 10 out of 10, and we would write it down. Just before you had a phone, so you had to write it down on a little tablet. And I'd be like, okay, rope-a-roni, 8 for 10. So I got to get it 8 for 10 tonight. The goal is 10 for 10. Once I get it 10 for 10, I could do it 5 for 5 to keep it consistent, just to be a competitive aspect.
5 for 5?
So then we would knock it 5 for 5. So imagine your goal, you have 8 for 10 is what your thing is. You want to get it 10 for 10, and you're rolling into this, and you're like 7 for 9. And then you choke.
Yeah.
You had to start over again.
I was a nervous rider, so it had to be 10 to 10. 10
no,
to 10.
no. So you would start over again, and that's why we would.
Oh, yeah.
We would be like in the parking lots all night long.
Did you actually practice your whole routine?
Yeah. Well, once I got the tricks, we would do the routine. Yeah, of course. And then you would visualize it.
Visualize it or trickless?
All of it. Trickless, visualize, consistency. We were dialed, bro.
I stopped doing that because people would see it like, what the fuck is this?
That's what it takes, though.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah,
me and you have always had good vibes with each other. I love you.
Always.
I love your brother. can you let them know on the camera where to follow you, your shows, or whatever? Let these people know right here.
Yeah,
You
hey,
can look at this
Robert
camera.
Castillo. You can follow us at BMX Freestyle Team on Instagram, Twitter, which is X, YouTube, and Facebook. Check us out.
Yeah, and this has been an awesome episode of like history and going from riding to the shows and what you're doing and how you're still progressing and doing your thing and,
Yeah,
and
thank
the love
you.
for BMX. And I
Yeah,
respect
I
that.
appreciate this. Is awesome, man. Always good hanging out with you. Always good vibes. So
Yeah, dude, much
super
love. Thanks for
stoked.
coming
Yeah.
in. Boom. And anyone out there, tell your friends, subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay rad.
Everybody ready? Come on, let's go.
The Thorne Show!